Hi there, Sims Anderson from ineveryhouse.com. Just wanted to take you through a brief overview of the app. In the near future, I'll be taking you through specific features of the app if needed. First thing you'll see on the front screen at the top right, you'll see a login. At the middle, you'll see register your church for free, and on the bottom there, you'll see register as a church member for free. The way the app works is you'll come in here and you'll click register your church for free. This will be the first time that your church registers. Every church has to do this first and only do this once. So if you as a person register your church, maybe you're the pastor or the soul winning director or the youth pastor, and you register your church, whenever anybody else wants to use this app for your church, they will not register the church again. I'll show you in a minute what they will do. So we'll go through and we'll fill out the church name, the pastor's name, the church email, confirm the church email, put in the church phone. This is important here. You'll look up the church address, like 9550 Helms Trail, Forney, Texas. That's our church's address. You'll click that and it'll fill in this. You want this bottom one to be filled in. And then you'll set up an administrator. This will be your first user. So this information up here is just for the church. And this information down here is for the first user of that church. The church does not have an account. Each user has an account that is tied to this church information. So you'd put in, like, if you're the pastor, the soul winning director, whatever your role is, you'd put your first name, your last name, your email again, and then your phone number, and then you click register. When you do that, you'll get two emails. One email will go to this church email saying thank you for registering as a church. The second email will go to this administrator email, and those can be the same if you need them to be, but will be go to this administrator email. That email will have a link in it. You'll click the link in that email, and it'll take you to a page to put in a password, and then you can log in. So once you've done that, you've registered your church, you've got your administrator account, you would come back here, and if you click the link, it'll take you there. But when you want to come back and log in on a different time, you'd come up here and click login. And then you would enter that information, that email and that password, and you'd click sign in. If you set up an account and then you want your members to set up their own accounts, they're not going to set up a church account. They're going to set up a church member account. Remember, we only set up one church account, and then we set up members under there. Two ways you can do that. One I'll show you in a little bit. The other one I'll show you here. So you'll send your members here. You'll give them a secret code. I'll show you where that is in just a little bit. Then they'll put their first name, last name, email. They'll confirm their email. They'll hit phone. They'll put their phone in there. Then they'll click register. And once they do that, they'll get an email. At the email they just entered, it'll have a link in there. They can click that email, and then they can set a password. It'll take them to a page to set a password, and then they can log in. But they have to have that secret code, which only administrators should have access to. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Just remember, you only do one church registration per church, and then it's user registration after that. And users don't have to register themselves. You can register them, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So I'm going to log in here. And also another thing that's on here, in the bottom right of every screen is this little blue box. This little blue box is how you get a hold of me if you need me. You can also email me or call me, and those contacts are on the Facebook page, and they're down here also. So you can do either of those, or you can click this button and you can type a message, and I will respond as quickly as I can, generally immediately, but sometimes a little longer. And so those are the ways you can get a hold of me, and that little button is on every screen in the app, so if you need support, you can get it. So as we go up here, I'm going to log in. So we'll click log in. You'll use the email that you set up, then you'll use your password. Then you'll click sign in. You'll be presented your dashboard here. And so on the dashboard, is a number of different things. Eventually, we'll be able to change the language. I'm working on that. You'll see this up here, this LHSRIB is your church's secret code. That's what you would give out to users so that they could register themselves over on that register as a church member for free. Next to that is the log out button. Then next to that is the menu button. So you see the menu popped up. We'll look at this front screen first. So you'll see your prospects, church prospects, salvations, church salvations, doors knocked, church doors knocked. Those are run by reports, which I'll show you in a minute. Over here also on this page, and this will grow, but on this page we also have My Open Maps. Those are any maps that you have checked out. And then you have Available Maps. Those are maps that were created but have not been checked out and not been knocked on. At the very bottom, you'll see Add Prospect down here on this black bar. You'll click that and you can add a prospect there. And so you'll go through, and I'll show you that later, but there's information here that you'll add. And so I'll show you that in another video or and later on in this video. I'm just taking you around in this one. So on this page, you can see, you can click Your Prospects. Never mind, I thought you could. I haven't changed that. But down here, if you want to check a map out, you'll click Check This Map Out. You'll put who you want to check it out to, and you'll click Check It Out. And that'll add it to your My Open Maps. Also on the screen, you can see the number of doors. You can see which community that map is at. You can give the map back if you want to. That means you didn't knock it and you're not going to. Or you could check the map in. So you've knocked the doors. You've got all the stuff that you need for it. You can check it in. You can say date it was completed. You can, if you're turning this in a day after you complete it, you can come in here and pick a date. Or how many doors you knocked, how many tracts you handed out, how many prospects you had, how many gospel presentations without salvation, how many salvations, how many hours out were you, and the people who were out with you, and yourself. These are names, free text. You need to be careful with your spelling. Eventually this will be something you can fill out a little easier. And then who it's turned in by. So like say this is a secretary and it was turned in by test member. And then you could turn that in by clicking Save. When you turn those reports in, those numbers that you put in that report go into these things up here, into your church prospects and salvations and doors knocked. So these numbers up here are driven by those reports. So you won't have these numbers if you don't have reports. If you only add prospects, the only numbers you'll have is your prospects and church prospects. Salvations, doors knocked, that will come from that report. You can also on this page, if you'll see this little blue map, if you click that, it'll take you to your navigation and it'll take you to that location. Also, if you click the name of it, Test Map, it'll take you to a new screen on which you can see the map. That is, you can kind of see it mapped out, and you'll see the name, Test Map 1, 10 doors. In progress means it's checked out and it's currently somebody has it in their queue. You can navigate to the map, which is the same as pushing that little map button, and it'll take you to your phone's navigation, and you can click directions there. Also, you can print the map. What happens when you print the map is it opens this window up and gives you kind of a printable, and this one doesn't work so well. This is better on a computer, but on the computer it'd give you a printable. You click print. Like I said, doesn't work so well on a handheld for this, but this is obviously meant for a computer anyways. What that does is print you a little map with some information for them to fill out and turn into you. Then we can return to map view. Alright, that's the front page. We'll go back to that, back to the dashboard, and that's kind of the overview of that. Then on the menu, if I open the menu, you see this test pastor here. I can open that and I can change my profile. I can update that if I want to. I can go over here to that again, and I could update the church profile if I'm an administrator. And if you're the one who registered the app, then you're an administrator. You can go to settings if you're an administrator, and this is the default minimum follow-up days. That's 7. I'll explain that to you in a minute. Next menu item is prospects. You'll click that and it'll open up a little list. If you're an administrator, you'll see all 4 of these. If you're just a user, you'll see My Prospects and Prospect Map. Go to My Prospects, and we'll see a list of all the prospects that have been entered. So we got a list here of prospects. There's a filter. You can see the ones that only need a visit. You see all of these. See this day's the last visit here? That is the last time you visited them. If that is less than 7 days or less than whatever you set up in this other screen, if it's less than 7, or if you put 28 there, if it's less than that, then they'll won't show up on the prospect screen, because this is kind of saying, hey, these people need visited. That's set by the church. And so it kind of helps if you want to say, hey, these people need to be visited every 7 days, every 24 days. And see all of these, because they're just my test stuff. Some of them have been in there quite a long time. When you click on the prospect, it'll open up a window below, which will show you the prospect information. You can see there's a little blue map there that'll take you to your navigation application, and you can navigate to their house. It tells you their first visit, FV, their last visit, the last time you visited them. If there's notes, this says false because I need to fix it. If there's no notes, that wouldn't show up. If there were, it would. You have the RP as responsible person. That's who this is assigned to. You have the first visit by. That's who did the first visit. You have the status. Are they a prospect? Are they something else? Also, you'll see you can click this follow-up button, and it'll take you to all the follow-ups that you've done. So I'll put a follow-up on this person. We'll say we visited them today, and it was a visit, and they were at home. We'll say notes, good visit. You could put prayer requests there, visited by me, and we'll save that. And you'll notice that this person, internet's a little slow today. You'll notice that this person, give me just a second, for some reason my internet's acting crazy because I'm doing a video. Alright, there it goes. This person is missing. So if I go needs a visit, or if I go all, then you'll see this awesome prospect's back. Their day since last visit 0. So if I say those people who need a visit, then he'll disappear. If I click all, there they are again. I'm going to click on that awesome prospect, click follow-up. You see a follow-up has been added here. You can edit these follow-ups, or you can delete a follow-up if you want to. You can also edit any of that prospect information, like status or prospect track, church visitor, member, postcard, not home. You can edit the status. You can look up, change their address if you want to. You can put in all that information, some additional info here. You can scroll down, look through all that as you need. It's pretty self-explanatory. Also on this prospect screen, you can add a prospect. That's on every screen. And you can sort these. You can search these. So that's the prospect screen, right? You just click through here and you'll see all their stuff. Also from this screen or from the menu screen, you can click on prospect map. And on the bottom of that, it's also got prospect list, which would take you back to the list, or prospect map, which takes you back to the map. This shows you all your prospects on the map. You see I have little cards in different locations on the map. I can use this button to take me to my location if I want to. And it's a little confused because I did not give it location access a minute ago, which I'll do that here in a minute. So I'm going to add a prospect, begin typing address, 1. So yeah, it's a little confused at the moment because this browser is having trouble with my location. I recommend Chrome as the browser to use with this. So you can see your prospects. You can also go as an administrator, and you can go to the prospect map. You can, that's what we just did, just a second. You can go to all church prospects if you're an administrator. Your My Prospects will show you those that are assigned to you. And all church prospects will show you all of the church's prospects. If you're an administrator, you'll have the ability to do that. Also, if you're an administrator, you can look at all the church prospects on a map, just like this. Now here's interesting, and I want to add this feature to other places, but what's interesting is if you zoom in on this map onto a house, you can click that house, and it will add the address there for you, and then all you have to do is enter their information. That's going to be a neat feature in the future. It's just kind of small right now. Next thing you have is the visitation maps. I'm going to come back to that one. Next one is teams. This one is not really used right now. My idea is to put church members into teams, and then those teams be able to manage prospects, or those teams be able to do maps, maybe do contests, see, track team stats, like how many doors knocked, or how many prospects, or how many souls saved, that kind of thing, and you can manage those teams. That's still kind of just a pie in the sky. It's not that useful yet. You have reports. So remember that anytime you turn a map in, you turn a report in, and you'll see those reports here with the information. You press the plus there to show the information. It shows the date it was turned in, the doors, tracks, hours, prospects, souls saved. You can edit that information like that report you turned in earlier, or you can delete the report right up there. When there's more reports, you can export this to a Excel spreadsheet or a PDF. You can print it. You can say how many entries you want to show. It's got pages down here. Those reports are created when you turn a map in. At some point in the near future, I'm going to add a feature to just turn a report in. So say you didn't use a map, you just went out kind of maybe doing new move-ins or something like that. Excuse me, and you can turn in a report like that instead of having to have maps. If you're an administrator, you can manage reports. That'll show you all reports, not just your reports. Also have communities here. This is how you segregate the city that you live in, the area that you live in. You'll see there it shows how many prospects are in the community. And right now I just have the none, but let's say I add a community, and let's say I want to name that community Windmill Farms. That's where I live, Windmill Farms. So I'm going to have a community name Windmill Ravens, Windmill Farms. I'm going to add that community. Now I've got two communities, Windmill Farms and none. I can go in, and when I go to a prospect, I can do it from here. When I add a prospect, one of the things that you do when you're adding a prospect is you're going to add them to a community. You're going to say, hey, this prospect was in Windmill Farms. And you'll add that prospect to that community. So that's what communities is, to kind of segregate the city that you're in into its different communities. We have a lot of bedroom places. We have Windmill Farms, Devonshire, just a lot of little houses, developments. And so that helps us. Also cities. Cities is not used yet, but in the near future it will be. So the way it'll be set up is, like say you reach multiple cities. We reach Terrell and Forney and Crandall and a little bit of Kaufman sometimes, and Seagoville and Heath. And so we might use those cities, and then inside of those cities, so it'd be like, hey, we'll set up those cities, and then inside of those cities we'll set up communities. Right now when you set up a community, you just put a name. In the future you'll put a name in a city, one of these cities that you created, and then you'll be able to say, hey, there's these prospects in these cities and these communities in these cities. So the next one is members. So cities isn't used yet. I've just got the menu item there. Next one is members. So remember earlier I told you that you can give out your secret code up here, and members can register themselves, or you can register them. And how you would do that is, this is the list. You'll see the name, test member, the phone number, the email. You can edit a member. You can delete a member. You can also make a member an administrator by tapping on this button. And then you can also come at the bottom and click Add Member, and you put their name, email, phone, and what you'll do when you click Save, they will get an email, and they'll be able to set that email will have a link, and they'll be able to set their password up in that email. And so that's members. I've had some churches where their members aren't going to use their phones, but they still set their members up in here with fake emails if they don't have emails or whatever. Set their members up in here so that they could print out maps. The members could go knock those maps, turn those maps in, and then the secretary or pastor or whoever could turn the map into the app here and turn it in under their name. So that's what some churches have done. Last one I want to show you here is visitation maps. And in the next video, I'll probably show you how to add prospects. The video after that, I'll probably show you how to do visitation maps, okay? But I just want to give you an overview. You have 3 options if you're an administrator. If you're not an administrator, you only have 2. You have My Maps and Available Maps. So we have My Maps. That's the maps that you have checked out. See one, this one's in progress. You checked it out. If I checked it in, let me do that. If I check it in, then it will move from in progress to complete, but it's still under My Maps. Then I can go to Available Maps. It'll show what's maps. See, only one map available. I have 2 maps. One's been turned in, one's still available. And then I have Manage Maps, which is where I will make maps. You can also click here at the top and it'll show you the streets you have mapped. And that's at the very top there, and that's really nifty. I'll show you on my account later how that works. And then you can see this one was complete. I can reset it so that now it's available again. I can print it if I want to. I can edit it. Now the only editing you can do is to change the name. If you accidentally map the wrong streets, you'll have to delete it and remap it, but you can change the name, doors, and community. You can go to the test map screen where it lets you see the map. Eventually, what I want to do is when you check the map out, you'll have this screen and you'll be able to scroll in and add people from here like on that other map earlier, but it's not able to do that yet. Eventually you will be able to. So when you're ready to add a map, you'll click Add Map. And we'll do a real video about this later, but you'll click Add Map. And I'm having a little trouble on this browser with my maps, so I may have to come back at another time and do it with a different browser because I'm having a little trouble with this browser. I recommend Chrome. I'm using this browser because it doesn't have all my passwords and form fill out saved so that you don't see all my emails and stuff. So anyways, that's not working, but I'll get to it. Let me pause this and I'm going to log into my account. And I want to show you what the map overview looks like. To click here to see all maps. So I'm going to show you that. Give me just a second. Okay, that was magic. We're on my account now, and you'll see I have lots and lots of maps on my account. It won't be long, and you'll be able to sort through these maps and search through these maps. That's definitely something we need because I've got just hundreds probably of maps here, and it makes it a little tough to navigate, but I'm going to add search and sort features, filter features here. So if I click here to see all maps, it's going to pull up that map, and on that map is all my maps. See, I've got some of Terrell over here, and then I've got well, that was weird. I don't know if we're still recording, but my phone just died. I've got some of Terrell over here. I've got all of Forney. The green means it has not been knocked. The blue means it has been knocked. The orange down here means that it needs to be knocked. And so that kind of gives you an overview. You could like put that on a projector and show your church kind of your progress, stuff like that. So anyways, that's kind of what we got today. And I'll do a more in-depth video in the future. If you have any requests for videos, just post on our Facebook page, send me an email, post on our Twitter page, YouTube, whatever, and just post something. Let me know that you want to do, you want me to do an overview of some other feature. Let me know if you have a feature request. We'll do those also. Have a good day. Reach out to me if you need me. Bye.